Hey everybody, HMV here, playing more Kerbal Space Program, and not only are we launching from the starter default Kerbal Space Center, we are also launching with the default Kerbal Jebediah Kerman. He has a part in this mission. He is aching to go. He's going to turn on his computer, and in 3, 2, 1, he's going to launch. This is one of 2 ships that are going to be docking together in space to head to Lave, or Lave, I don't know how you would call it, and dock together. It's kind of boring, this part at least, so I'm just going to very quickly only show you all the separations, and then we're going to launch the second ship, and the meat of this episode is going to be docking these guys together and then sending them off to Lave. There go the boosters. Oh. Yeah, we're fine, This thing doesn't have any fins on the back, which is possibly a mistake, but we're okay so far. Yeah, as you'll see, this rocket is basically designed to perfectly get up into a 100 by 100 orbit, and ditch this thing right before it's done. So we can ditch the fairings now and show you the ship. Now, it's kind of crazy looking, but if you see here, there's a docking port here, but there isn't one at the end of this guy. Can I ditch this as well? Yes, I can. There it goes. Oh, look at that. This is eventually going to be attached to this docking port here. It's just the fairings wouldn't get around it. So that's one of the reasons I'm doing it in 2 launches, because the other ship is about this long as well, and this thing would be just too tall and spindly for a successful launch into orbit. 45, I think, is fine. We're going to ditch this thing now. And my thing is beeping, and we're going to just burn up to 103 by 83. I don't know if the sounds of my IMs come through, but I'm getting some IMs, so I'm going to pause, and I will be right back. Okay, I figured I'd just get him into a nice 103 by 103. I wanted it to be 100 by 100, but what are you going to do? Orbit, and then launch Jenrys, who is the actual reason the mission's going. We're going to turn the computer on, and she's in 3, 2, 1, going to launch. This is basically the same ship. It just has fins and no solids because it's a lighter craft. As it is, though, the launch is a little bit slower, but she still basically gets up to the same orbit. It's just far less exciting because there's absolutely nothing that happens on this launch. So I'm not going to show you any of it. I will come back when we're getting ready to dock these guys together, because there's really no need to see any of this. Okay, these guys are coming together right now over me. We are just going to sidle up next to this guy and stop, and I'm gonna do this on camera. I'm gonna do one of the 2 of these on camera, and then the other one I will do off camera, because I have a feeling it might be a little technically challenging with no RCS or anything, but we'll see. I did at least try to meet fairly close to sunrise, so that I have all this half of the orbit to get this done, but that's not a huge deal. If it takes the entire half orbit, I'll just wait until we get to the next side. These guys can get all docked together if they have to. Okay, so what we're going to do here is, now we are basically stopped compared to this guy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to undock this, and then I'm going to set this as my target. I love that mod, by the way, that does that. That keeps those things still. Then we're going to go into locked mode. Now I'm going to go down here. We're just going to flip this around. Don't want to hit this thing. This guy's doing all the work because he has the solar panels. The other ship doesn't have any solar panels. And then we're just going to get close enough to this docking port so that they dock. Oops, I should be using my... what do you call them? There we go. Now these guys are docked. Now I'm going to take this and put it on him. Let's set this as our target. Let's control from here. And now we need to go back into locked mode. Yeah, which is completely wrong compared to everything else that we're doing. Should probably also have the HUD up. The HUD always helps in situations like these. We're kind of moving away from this guy. Actually, we're on the right side. I should just stop my motion here relative to the target. If I could turn correctly, there we go. Just going to stop my relative motion. That's basically stopped. That's actually stopped. Okay. Now we're going to aim at this guy. And actually we want this one here. So we're going to aim at that. Then we are going to flip over to you. You are going to roll. You have no control. You have no electric power. Cute. Okay. I guess we're not going to do it that way. We'll just come into dock here. We shouldn't have to be all that perfect. As long as we get them lined up correctly, I should be able to turn it and get that done. And I don't really want to come in at more than a decimeter per second. Simply because badness can happen at more than that. Let's make sure set that target, control from here. And I kind of want to put this thing on sideways, kind of like this. Not for any particular reason. We're not ever going to be in an atmosphere. We might actually aerobrake at Lave. I don't know even if it has an atmosphere. But there's really no reason why I would want to or put them on sideways. I just think it'll look kind of cool. So, hey, why not? Rule of cool, right? Okay, things are looking good. The nav ball likes what I'm doing. The actual encounter itself is a bit wonky-ish. I'm going to come out this way just a little bit more. We're going 2 decimeters per second. We are veritably racing in. As soon as these things get docked, that guy will have some power. There we go. Okay, I'm going to turn off the computer. Let magnetism do its crazy job here. Eventually. Oh, come on. I should be able... There we go. I was going right and left to do that. Okay, yeah, see, he's already gaining power. Let's rotate this whole ship around to get the solar panels in the sun. We have joy, we have fun, we have solar panels in the sun. And actually another thing we can do is actually transfer the electric charge. Like actually transfer it into him so that he's sitting there with electric charge when we go get this one. Okay, but you've seen, this is probably the harder of the two because I couldn't control this guy. I'm just going to take this and put it on here, and I will be back. We also have a year before the Lave ejection burn. So I'm going to come back in 1 year. You guys, Jeb and Generous, are going to sit up here in orbit, and I'll come back when we are on our way. Okay, it has been a year and whatever later, and we've got everything hooked up. These things are mostly parallel to each other. Not mission critical or anything. It says we've only got 1,200 meters per second. I'm pretty sure. Do you hear me? I'm pretty sure that that's a lie. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm pretty sure. So we're going to just fast forward to the time to burn here. I don't know exactly how long our burn is, but it looks like it's going to be a 4-minute-er. But nothing I can do about that. That's just what it's going to cost. So let's go. We've got a built-in mid-course correction for this anyway. So at the mid-course correction, we can fix any problems caused by this not working. Yeah, notice our meters per second, our delta V total is going up as we drain fuel out of these tanks. So with all the docking ports, I'm a little worried about fast forwarding, so I'm going to sit here at normal time for the next 5 minutes and see how things go. Okay, losses due to Oberth not working perfectly was 16 meters per second. Just if you're curious, I had to burn 16 more meters per second than I did. And we also lost our... let's go ahead and just turn that off. We also lost our sunlight, so we were just starting to lose electric charge. Okay, now for phase 2 of the mission is we use up more than half of these tanks. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set this guy to 7. So he unloads from him, and actually set him to 6. That's where we want to be. Because we want this guy to have the least amount of fuel possible. Okay, this guy has no fuel in him, so he's completely useless. We're just going to kick him away. Now, this guy, we're going to actually, tell you what, let's fast forward a little bit to get him so it's obvious which one is which, because I would hate to accidentally grab the wrong one. We want to do this in the sun anyway. Okay, there's the sun. We have 36 minutes before we leave Kerbin's sphere of influence. So let's go ahead and undock this guy here. Actually, let's get you ready first. These guys, everybody has full power, right? Okay. Let's go ahead and undock these guys. And I've found that oops, this is easier to do with this guy still connected to the main ship. So we're going to set that as our target. And actually, I just realized we want to go to you first. We want to actually control from here. Set this as the target. Come on. Go into locked mode. And we're like this, so we want to turn this way. I'm just aiming this at the other ship. I don't know if you can tell what I'm going to be doing yet. But I thought it was pretty clever, actually. Okay, let's just get these guys aimed at each other. Not you. Now you, actually I need to engage your engine because I had it turned off for the other burn. Then we're going to set this as the target. Control from here. That is a lot of meters per second, actually. And the computer's not on, and I'm doing stupid things. Half a meter per second is way too fast, but hey, it was not a big deal. Okay, now we've got these guys now. Now this guy, we're going to undock. Whoa, craziness. Now we're going to, actually we'll go back to you. Now we're going to control from here. I love docking ports. Docking ports make everything easier. Let's go into locked mode. We're going to turn you. Never bumping the ship. We're just slowly moving away. We're not in any hurry whatsoever. The biggest problem we have is that this guy has a limited amount of electric power. This is kind of like manual asparagus staging. We're just dropping the tank as we can to clear up the. Oops, I bumped it. Oh, the magnetism worked anyway. Kind of like, there we go. The door to be at least off to the side there. Okay, now this is our transfer stage now. The fuel in here will hopefully get us our entire what you call it, course correction burn here, which actually it's time to plan for. And let's see, where's Lave? Lave's there. Yeah, this is Lave's orbit. What is going on? Yeah, we are nowhere near Lave. We need to burn forward more. Let's just delete this and burn forward. These are more Oberth losses. Oh, I heard that. There we go. Okay, that's even more losses. There we go. That's better. Okay, now out here, if we do this maneuver. Yeah, 557. See, this whole trip is becoming more and more expensive, but there's not much I can do about it. Just because, well, there is. I could plan better, but I'm not smart. I kind of play by the seat of my pants, and I figure things out as we go. And so I don't know what we're doing. I'm just playing the game. I could have, done some burned down towards Sana, gotten my orbit all set up right so I could do an Oberth effect down there. I just don't like doing that. I find that stuff unfun. I like to plan the mission ahead of time and then kind of fly by the seat of my pants during it, which is a weird combo. But what are you gonna do? We're almost out of Kerbin's sphere of influence. Oh no, we're not. We are nowhere near. Oh yeah, we are. Actually, I think we are out of Kerbin's sphere of influence. We are in Sana's sphere of influence. So let's go ahead and get out of Sana's sphere of influence. Now we've got. Oh, come on, figure it out. There we go. Now we've got this maneuver here. Let's. I like to fiddle with the time just to make sure that everything's fine. Okay, now we're going to. We're not doing anything weird with the sphere of influence changes. We better not be. I would find that super annoying. I actually just remembered something. I brought these and was able to transmit on purpose. So I can actually transmit data. We don't need this. See, all these materials study high over the sun. I just transmitted one of them. I actually set this ship up specifically to be able to transmit one reading from everything. So I should be able to review the stored data here and transmit these things as long as they're all high over the sun. See, I don't want to do this materials from the launch pad because we'll just keep that. EVA report, yeah, we can transmit that. We can keep this one now. And then we can also review these. And we can transmit in space high over the sun. We can transmit that because we can get another one. Space high over the sun. Space high over the sun, might as well keep that because that's nothing. Temperature scan, transmit that, and then keep this. And then run these all one more time. And then actually keep them. And then they will transfer into one of these two command pods. And then that way we get the transmit once, return once. That's kind of a rule of thumb with Kerbal Space Program. Is you transmit one version of the data and then you bring the other version of the data home, and that's pretty much the same as if you had brought two home, and it pretty much clears out the entire available science for that thing. I mean, there's a little bit left, but it's not that much. That's why I brought these four antennas. So might as well use them, right? 2, 1, mark. Yeah, this thing collected 81 of these material studies while it was sitting here, and that's before I turned it off. So there's obviously still something going on this mod. I'm pretty sure I have the newest version of it, but what are you gonna do? Hopefully once we get into Lave's sphere of influence, things will get a little bit better. Our meters per second are still going up, which is good, as we drain fuel out of this thing. And actually, this fuel's going to last us a long time. Well, not a long time, but it's going to last us through this burn, hopefully get us in in orbit around Lave. Okay, maybe a long time was an exaggeration. It's going to last us through this burn, probably. I'm a little bit concerned that we don't have a encounter here. Oh, there it is. Getting better. It is. Not very much, though. Okay, let's do another mid-course correction here. If we were to slow down, that's bad. If we were to speed up, that's good. Okay, speeding up 97 meters per second. What if we were to instead radial inward or outward? 56, so radial is cheaper. Okay, let's go ahead and focus on Lave here and actually see what the planet looks like, because I don't even know. Oh, it's got rings, and it's Eve. It's not Eve, but it's purple with some yellow in it. That's really cool looking. Okay. So, according to this, we have an encounter. Oh, there it is. That's a bad encounter. Let's go ahead and... Okay, we're just going to bring it up like, yeah. And, why is there a flag on here? Saren First Landing. Okay. I did update the pack. Maybe the planet's IDs changed or something. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, apparently if I had left anything else on Saren, I have a feeling it would be on the planet. And actually, I might have some debris. I do have debris on lava, or what is this? Eli. Goes along with Ike. Easy to remember because it's kind of like Ike. Okay. Yeah, that is hilarious. Does Lave have an atmosphere, first of all? It does. It is a very, very, very poor atmosphere, but it is present. So we can, if we so choose, use its atmosphere. I'm assuming Eli does not have an atmosphere. No, it does not. So, let's keep tweaking our orbit here. I think going for a collision isn't a bad deal, and then we can tweak it from there. It's 63 meters per second, which in the whole vast scheme of things is not that much. It's also in 120 days, which is a bit of a long time from now. So we're going to fast forward again, and we will see you there. I never remember how to get into Kerbal Engineer's options, but there should be just an options button somewhere. I always have to look it up. I never remember where it is. But yeah, it somehow got into human time and not Kerbal time. So I have no idea when I'm supposed to be, or when I'm supposed to be burning, because this says so many, like 7 hours. Kerbals don't count hours up to 7. What the H? But there you go. Got the burn going. Let's keep an eye here on this. Be ready to hit the X key. There we go. Nice and tweakable. Now, let's actually watch here just to make sure. Okay, yes. What's his name? Eli. Eli orbits this way. So we do want to come in and go like this. But what if... Let's see what would happen here. Out at our apoapsis. If we were to slow down a tiny little bit, I guess it's speed up or radial. Yeah, radial gives us more oomph. Yeah, see, this is probably not gonna be... We actually do want to come in polar. So there's that. That's a nothing maneuver. And then to slow down into orbit, that's going to cost us 600 and some odd meters per second. I think we can do it. However, I think because we can't do any trickiness with orbital mechanics to get captured like we do at Joule in the regular system, I am going to instead, at my apoapsis out here, set up a maneuver node to aerobrake at Lave. And that's going to be a tiny little radial, just enough to bring us out of the atmosphere, and then we can tweak that when the time comes. That is a ridiculously small amount of meters per second. I'm actually considering instead doing it here. That's still a ridiculously small amount, and we're going to have to do it anyway, so we might as well. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to plan our aerobrake when we get to Lave, and I'm getting a little bit tired, and I think that this has actually been a pretty good episode, so I think I'm going to split this into 2 right here, and that way you guys can see what's going to happen when we get there. So when I come back, next episode, we're going to be in Lave's Sphere of Influence, Lave's Sphere of Influence, and I'm going to be doing my burn to set up my aerobrake to ideally get an Eli encounter right here, but at least get out to Eli's orbit. So I hope you're looking forward to that. Blah, 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 blah. I hope you're looking forward to that. I'm definitely looking forward to doing it. I'm HMV, and I will, as always, talk at you later.